From Shy to Shining, Amina'S English Adventure. Introduction. Why stories? Why discipline? Learning English is not only about grammar books, boring exercises, and endless vocabulary lists. At KibTech, we believe learning should also make you smile, laugh, and feel inspired. Why? Because when you laugh, you remember. When you enjoy the story, you forget that you are studying, and you simply live the language. That is why we use stories. Realistic stories, funny stories. Stories where characters make mistakes, just like you, and then learn from them. Stories where the hero is not a genius, but an ordinary person, just like you, who works hard, keeps going, and finally succeeds. This is the story of Amina. Amina is not perfect. She is not a super student who wakes up speaking English fluently in 3 weeks. No, Amina is a newcomer, just like many of you. She arrived in a new country with her family, full of dreams, but also full of doubts. She wants to speak English, get a good job, make friends, and live with confidence. But she faces the same problems you face: the fast conversations in the street, the confusion at the supermarket, the embarrassing mistakes in front of strangers. Sometimes she wants to give up. Sometimes she laughs at herself. Sometimes she even cries. But Amina has one secret: discipline. She decides not to wait for motivation, because motivation is like a guest. It comes and goes. Discipline is the real key. Every day, Amina practices 2 hours of English. Not in one big, boring block, but in small, simple sessions. 20 minutes listening on the bus. 30 minutes writing short sentences at lunch. 20 minutes reading a funny story in the afternoon. 30 minutes listening to music or watching a video in English in the evening. Step by step, she learns. Word by word, her confidence grows. And mistake by mistake, she discovers that errors are not enemies. They are teachers. In this story, you will follow Amina'S journey. You will see her make funny mistakes, and you will learn the correct form. You will hear her struggle with vocabulary, and you will practice the same words. You will watch her answer questions in class, and you will answer those same questions in your breakout rooms. This is not just her story, it is your story too. Because Amina represents every newcomer who decides to stop waiting for motivation and instead build discipline. She represents you when you feel shy in English. She represents you when you celebrate your first small victory, ordering coffee without panic, asking for directions, or introducing yourself with confidence. At the end of these chapters, you will see how Amina transforms from a quiet, nervous newcomer into a confident speaker who passes her test and finds a good job, all thanks to discipline, daily practice, and a little bit of humor. So get ready. This is not just a listening exercise. It is an adventure. Listen carefully. Laugh when Amina makes mistakes. Repeat the words. Answer the questions. Live the English with her. Because with KibTech, we do not just promise English lessons. We give you a 90-day challenge to change your life. Now, let's begin with Chapter 1, Grammar in Real Life. Chapter 1, The Funny Beginning. Amina had just arrived in Canada. She was 32 years old, full of dreams, and also full of fear about speaking English. One cold morning, she walked into a small coffee shop near her new home. Her hands were cold, but her heart was beating even faster. She wanted something simple, a coffee. Easy, right? The cashier smiled and asked politely, "What would you like?" Amina panicked. In her head, she repeated, "A small coffee, please, a small coffee, please." But when she opened her mouth, the words came out wrong. "I want a small chicken, please." The cashier blinked in surprise. A man behind Amina raised his eyebrows, then chuckled. Amina turned red, waved her hands, and said quickly, "No, no, no, not chicken, coffee. Coffee, please." This time, the cashier laughed kindly and said, "No problem, 1 small coffee." Amina felt embarrassed, but then she laughed too. Okay, she thought, English is dangerous, but also funny. Back at KibTech. That evening at KibTech, Amina shared her chicken coffee story with her classmates. The whole room burst into warm laughter, not to make fun of her, but because everyone understood the feeling. Mr. Paul, the teacher, clapped his hands gently and said, "See, mistakes are not bad. They make learning fun. The important thing is you spoke, you tried. That is courage. Another student raised his hand. Last week, I wanted to buy bread, but I asked for a bride. The class roared with laughter again. Even Amina laughed so hard that she forgot her embarrassment. Mr. Paul smiled and continued, "Excellent. These little mistakes are not failures. They are memories you never forget, and each one makes your English stronger. At KibTech, we celebrate these moments because they show that you are practicing in real life." Amina took a deep breath and felt lighter. Okay, she thought, I can do this. Even if my sentences are short, I will try. Every answer is a victory. Breakout room practice. Imagine you are Amina. What's your name? Oh, my name is. 2. Where are you from? Oh, I am from. 3. How old are you? Oh, I am years old. 4. What do you like to drink in the morning? Oh, I like to drink coffee, tea, water in the morning. 5. Have you ever made a funny mistake in English? What happened? Oh, yes. One time I said chicken instead of coffee. Lesson of Chapter 1. Every answer, even short and simple, makes you stronger. Mistakes are not a reason to stop. They are proof that you are learning. At KibTech, we don't hide mistakes. We use them as tools for growth. Chapter 2. The Supermarket Surprise. After her chicken coffee adventure, Amina made herself a promise. I will practice English everywhere, even in the supermarket. One Saturday, she walked into the store with her little basket. She needed bread, milk, and bananas. Simple, right? But suddenly, a friendly Canadian woman smiled and asked her, "Excuse me, do you know where the eggs are?" Amina froze. She caught the words, "excuse me," and "eggs," but she didn't know how to answer. She wanted to say, "I don't know." Instead, in her nervousness, she blurted out, "I don't egg." The woman looked surprised for a second, then smiled warmly and said, "Oh, that's okay. Thank you anyway." Amina's cheeks turned red. She thought, why does English always betray me in public? But then she remembered what she had learned at KibTech. Every mistake is a lesson in disguise. Later that day, she shared her story in class. Everyone chuckled kindly, not to laugh at her, but because they all understood. One student said, "Last week I asked for face instead of fish." The room filled with laughter, and suddenly mistakes didn't feel heavy anymore. They felt like funny friends. Mr. Paul clapped his hands and said, "See, even simple daily situations give you practice. The supermarket, the bus stop, the coffee shop, everywhere can be your classroom. And at KibTech, we turn these real-life moments into progress." Amina smiled, more confident. She thought, yes, one day I will not say I don't egg. One day I will answer correctly, and that day will come soon. Breakout room practice. Supermarket English. Now imagine you are in the supermarket like Amina. Practice these questions and answers in simple English. 1. What did you buy yesterday? Oh, I bought bread and milk. Oh, I bought rice and chicken. 2. Where do you usually shop? Oh, I shop at Walmart. Oh, I shop at Costco. 3. Do you like cooking? What do you like to cook? Yes, I like cooking. I like to cook rice and vegetables. No, I don't cook. I eat at restaurants. 4. What food do you eat every week? Oh, I eat bread and eggs every week. Oh, I eat chicken and rice every week. 5. Have you ever made a funny mistake in a store? What happened? Oh, yes, one time I said, I don't egg instead of I don't know. Oh, yes, one time I asked for fish, but I said face. Lesson of Chapter 2. Daily life is your classroom. Every time you go shopping, you can practice English. Even mistakes, like I don't egg, become funny memories that help you learn and grow. Chapter 3. The Bus Stop Adventure. One cold Monday morning, Amina was waiting at the bus stop. The wind was strong, her hands were freezing, and she wished the bus would come quickly. Next to her, a man in a big winter coat smiled and said, "Cold morning, right?" Amina wanted to agree. She tried to say, "Yes, very cold." But her tongue slipped and she said, "Yes, very hot." The man raised his eyebrows for a moment, then laughed gently, not at her, but to make her feel comfortable. Hot? Oh, I wish. This is Canada. It's almost always cold. Amina laughed too and quickly corrected herself. Sorry, very cold. The man smiled warmly. Don't worry, your English is good. Every time you try, you get better. When the bus finally arrived, Amina sat down and thought, okay, today I mixed up cold and hot, but tomorrow I will say it right. Every mistake is just training for my tongue. Back at KibTech. That evening at KibTech, Amina shared her story with her classmates. She said, at the bus stop, I said very hot instead of very cold. Everyone chuckled kindly. One student added, me too. Last week I said I am hot instead of I am warm. People looked at me strangely, but now I know the difference. The group laughed together, not because of the mistakes, but because they all understood the same feeling. Suddenly, mistakes didn't feel scary anymore. Mr. Paul clapped his hands and said, excellent! See, even the bus stop is a classroom. Every place is a chance to practice. Let's review some bus stop English together. Breakout room practice. At the bus stop. Practice these questions in simple English. 1. How do you usually go to school or work? I go by bus. I go by car. I walk. 2. How long does it take to get here? It takes 20 minutes by bus. It takes 10 minutes by car. 3. What do you usually do on the bus? I listen to music. I read. I look at my phone. 4. Do you prefer summer or winter? Why? I prefer summer because it is warm. I prefer winter because I like snow. 5. Have you ever had a funny moment while traveling? Yes, I said hot instead of cold at the bus stop. Oh, yes, one time I took the wrong bus. Lesson of Chapter 3. Even waiting for the bus is a chance to learn. Small conversations, even with mistakes, can create big progress. At KibTech, every moment of life, on the bus, in the store, at home, becomes an English lesson. Chapter 4. KibTech English Club Challenges. Amina finally decided to join the English Club at KibTech. The classroom was bright with posters on the wall saying, "Discipline beats motivation," and "English every day." The room was full of students, newcomers from different countries, men and women, young adults and parents, all sitting together. At the front stood Mr. Paul, KibTech's cheerful teacher who always spoke with energy, as if he had 3 coffees before class. Welcome, everyone! Today, grammar will not be boring. Today, grammar will be fun, because here at KibTech, we learn with smiles, he announced. The students laughed nervously. Could grammar really be fun? Scene 1. Conditionals. Mr. Paul handed Amina a card. Amina, what would you do if you had more time? Amina thought for a second, then grinned. If I had more time, I would join the English Club. Wait, I already did. The whole class laughed warmly. Mr. Paul clapped his hands. Perfect, that's the conditional. And you even made it funny. Excellent, Amina. Scene 2. Modal verbs. Next, he turned to Kareem. Kareem, your card. Kareem read quickly. You mustn't bring your ID. The room went silent. Amina tilted her head and asked playfully, Wait, no ID? Then how do we enter KibTech? Everyone chuckled. Mr. Paul raised a finger. Careful, the correct sentence is, You mustn't forget to bring your ID. That means it's necessary to bring it. Kareem repeated confidently, You mustn't forget to bring your ID. Scene 3. Passive voice. Amina'S next card said, They built the new school in 2020. She read with courage. The new school was built in 2020. Mr. Paul nodded with a big smile. Excellent! Passive voice, correct and clear. Scene 4. Comparatives. Then Sophie raised her hand. This test is more easy than the previous one. Some students frowned. Amina leaned in and whispered kindly, I think you mean easier. Mr. Paul confirmed. Exactly. It should be, this test is easier than the previous one. Sophie laughed. Okay, this test is easier. But promise me the next one won't be harder. Everyone laughed together. Scene 5. Reported speech. Mr. Paul pointed at another card. I am studying for the exam, she said. Amina, can you report this? Amina took a deep breath. She said she was studying for the exam. Mr. Paul smiled. Perfect. That's reported speech. Well done. Scene 6. Future perfect. Corinne sighed dramatically. By next summer, I will complete my B1 program. Mr. Paul shook his head gently. Almost. Try this. By next summer, I will have completed my B1 program. Karim straightened his back and repeated proudly. Yes, by next summer, I will have completed my B1 program. The class applauded. Scene 7. Question tags. Mr. Paul clapped again. Let's start the meeting, shall we? Amina misheard and repeated softly. Let's start the meeting, do we? Instead of laughing at her, the other students encouraged. Almost, Amina, it's shall we? Amina giggled and corrected herself. Okay, let's start the meeting, shall we? Mr. Paul gave her a thumbs up. Yes, that's the Kib Tech spirit. Courage, correction, and confidence. Scene 8. Error correction. Finally, Sophie read her card. I didn't went to class yesterday because I was sick. A few students looked unsure. Amina raised her hand with confidence. It should be, I didn't go to class yesterday because I was sick. Mr. Paul clapped. Excellent, Amina, and thank you for helping your friend. Remember, at Kib Tech, we grow together. Wrap up. At the end of the session, everyone was smiling. Grammar no longer felt like a monster. It felt like a group game. Amina thought, when we learn together at KibFrek, mistakes are not scary. They are steps toward success. Mr. Paul concluded warmly, mistakes are friends. If you laugh, correct, and keep going, you will never forget. Keep practicing, and soon English will feel natural. Breakout room practice. Grammar in action. Now practice with your group. 1. If you had more time, what would you do? 2. Make a sentence with must or mustn't. 3. Change this sentence to passive. They opened the new cafe last month. 4. Make a comparative sentence about today and yesterday. 5. Report this. I am learning English, he said. 6. Complete. By 2030, I something. 7. Make a sentence with let's and the correct question tag. 8. Correct this mistake. She didn't went to the party. Chapter 5. Mistakes are stepping stones. One Saturday morning, Amina went shopping at the local supermarket. She was excited because she wanted to practice her English with real people, not just in class. She walked through the aisles, repeating words she saw on the signs. Bread, milk, vegetables. Her basket was full, and she felt ready. At the checkout, the cashier smiled. Cashier, good morning. Do you have a loyalty card? Amina froze. She wanted to answer quickly. Instead of saying, no, I don't, she mixed it with another sentence she had studied earlier. Amina, I didn't went to class yesterday. Silence. Her cheeks turned red. She thought everyone would laugh. But something surprising happened. The cashier leaned forward and said gently, Oh, you mean I didn't go to class yesterday. That's a very common mistake. Don't worry, you're doing great. The person in line behind her added, Customer 1, Yes, my cousin is also learning English. He makes the same mistake. Keep going. You're brave to practice. Another customer smiled. Customer 2, At least you try. I moved here 3 years ago, and I was too scared to speak. You're already better than I was. Amina felt her heart get lighter. For the first time, she realized, mistakes don't make people laugh at you. They make people want to help you. She laughed a little and said, Thank you. So I should say I didn't go, right? The cashier gave her a thumbs up. Exactly, and your English is improving every day. Amina left the supermarket smiling, her bag full of groceries and her heart full of confidence. She thought, mistakes are not walls, they are bridges. Every mistake helps me step forward. That evening, she wrote in her notebook, "Don't be afraid of mistakes. People want to help me. Each mistake is a lesson." For the first time, she felt proud of her journey. Breakout Room Questions, Chapter 5. Now it's your turn. Imagine you are Amina. Answer in simple English. 1. Have you ever made a funny mistake in English? What happened? 2. How did people react? Did they laugh at you or encourage you? 3. If you make a mistake today, what will you say to yourself? 4. Complete this sentence. If I, a mistake, I, something new. 5. Why are mistakes important in learning a new language? Chapter 6. Funny words, fancy words. It was Friday evening at KibTak's Conversation Club. The theme of the day was English vocabulary with style. Mr. Paul came in wearing a shiny suit and a bright tie. Amina's eyes widened. "Wow, teacher, you look amazing today." Mr. Paul twirled around dramatically. "Thank you. In English we say, dress up to the nines. That means to dress very elegantly. Not to the tens, not perfectly, just to the nines." The whole class laughed. Sophie whispered, "Okay, next time we have a party, I will dress up to the nines too." Scene 1. Down memory lane. Mr. Paul then showed an old photo of his first KibTak class. "Look at this." "This was 5 years ago. When I see this picture, I go down memory lane. Do you know what it means?" Amina raised her hand shyly. "It means remember the past with love?" Exactly. Down memory lane equals remembering the past with nostalgia. Kareem added jokingly, "When I see my first English test, I don't go down memory lane. I go down a nightmare." Scene 2. Doom scrolling. During the break, Sophie looked at her phone. "Oh no, news, bad news, more bad news." Mr. Paul peeked. "Careful, Sophie, that's called doom scrolling. When you keep checking bad news online, it makes you feel worse." Sophie nodded. "Yes, it's true. I need to stop doom scrolling and start happy scrolling, maybe watching cat videos." Later, Amina was stuck on a new word. She asked, "Teacher, what do I do when I don't know this word?" Mr. Paul handed her a dictionary. "Easy. You look up the word. Not look out, not look after, look up." Amina repeated proudly, "I looked up 3 new words yesterday." Scene 4. Creative spirit. That evening, students prepared small role plays. Amina decorated her notebook with drawings and funny doodles. Sophie said, "Wow, Amina, you are very creation?" Amina thought for a second. No, the right word is creative." Mr. Paul clapped. "Yes, she is very creative. Creativity is her gift." Scene 5. Crucial reminder. Before the end, Mr. Paul became serious. "My friends, remember this. Discipline is crucial. Not just nice, not just funny. Crucial. Without it, you cannot reach B1 or B2. The students nodded in silence. Even Kareem stopped joking. Wrap up. Amina walked home that night and thought, English is not only grammar and mistakes. It has colors, expressions, funny words, elegant words. Every time I learn an idiom or a new style, I feel closer to the real English world." She smiled and whispered, "One day I will also dress up to the nines and speak English like a queen." Breakout room practice, vocabulary in action. Now practice with your group. 1. Use down memory lane in a sentence. 2. Describe what you wear when you dress up to the nines. 3. Do you sometimes doom scroll? What do you read? 4. Make a sentence with look up. 5. Replace important with its synonym crucial in a sentence. 6. Make a sentence with creative about someone you know. Lesson of Chapter 6. English vocabulary is not boring, it is full of life. When you use idioms and expressions, you don't just speak English, you shine in English. Chapter 7, A Day in Amina'S English Life. One Monday morning, Amina'S alarm rang at 6:30 a.m. She wanted to stay in bed. Her brain whispered, "Sleep more, no English today." But Amina sat up and shook her head. No, motivation is sleeping. Discipline is awake. She got up, brushed her teeth, and stood in front of the mirror. Scene 1, Morning Mirror Practice. Good morning, Amina. My name is Amina. I will not give up. Every morning, she repeated 5 sentences in English while looking at her reflection. It felt silly at first, but slowly her confidence grew. Scene 2, Bus Stop Listening. At the bus stop, instead of scrolling on her phone, Amina listened to an English podcast. The bus stop is my classroom, she thought. She caught a new word, schedule. She whispered it 3 times. Schedule, schedule, schedule. Scene 3, Library Writing. During lunch, Amina went to the public library. She loved the quiet atmosphere. She opened her notebook and wrote, "Today I am learning English. I am happy. I will keep going." The librarian passed by and smiled. Good practice. Keep writing every day. Amina's heart warmed. Even strangers supported her. Scene 4, Evening in the Park. In the evening, Amina walked in the park. Children were playing. She repeated short sentences to herself. The kids are running. The dog is barking. The sun is setting. People walking by smiled. They thought she was talking on the phone, but she was training her English tongue. Scene 5, Night Discipline. Back home, Amina was tired. She wanted to watch TV in French. But she remembered her promise, 2 hours a day. Motivation is gone, but discipline is still here. So she played a short English video, repeated 3 phrases out loud, and even practiced with her little brother. Brother, say, I want pizza. I want pizza. Good, now bring me pizza. Wrap up. At the end of the day, Amina looked at her checklist. Morning mirror sentences. Bus stop listening. Library writing. Park speaking. Evening video practice. She smiled and thought, motivation is like fireworks, beautiful but short. Discipline is like the firewood in my stove. It keeps me warm every day. That night, before sleeping, she whispered, tomorrow I will do it again, not because I feel like it, but because I decided. Breakout room practice, my daily discipline. Now talk about your own day in English, like Amina. 1. What do you usually do in the morning? Oh, I wake up and. Oh, I brush my teeth and. 2. What do you do on the bus or train? Oh, I listen to music. Oh, I listen to English podcasts. 3. Do you sometimes study at the library or another quiet place? Yes, I write sentences. No, I prefer home. 4. What do you do in the evening to practice English? Oh, I watch videos. Oh, I read a story. 5. Do you use motivation or discipline to study? Why? Lesson of Chapter 7. Every place can be your classroom, your mirror, the bus stop, the library, the park, your own home. Discipline transforms ordinary moments into powerful learning. Ordinary moments into powerful learning. Ordinary moments into powerful learning. Ordinary moments into powerful. Chapter 8. The Bad Day Test. One rainy Thursday, Amina woke up with a heavy head. Her body was tired, her eyes half closed. I don't want to study today, she whispered. She thought about her 2-hour routine. It felt impossible. Motivation was gone. But then she remembered her teacher's words at KibTech. Discipline is not about doing everything, it's about doing something, even on bad days. Scene 1, The 5-Minute Promise. Amina sat on her bed and said to herself, okay, I can't do 2 hours, but I can do 5 minutes. She opened her notebook and wrote 3 simple sentences. Today I am tired. The weather is rainy, but I will not give up. She smiled. That's enough to keep the chain alive. Scene 2. The Mini Listening. While making tea, she played an English song in the background. She didn't understand every word, but she caught a phrase. Don't stop, keep going. She laughed. The song is talking to me. Scene 3. A Small Victory. Later, her friend Kareem texted, Are you studying today? Amina replied in English, even if short. Yes, but only little. I wrote 3 sentences. Kareem answered, Good, you didn't skip. That's discipline. Wrap up. At night, Amina ticked her checklist with pride. She didn't do 2 hours, but she did something. She thought, one bad day doesn't stop my journey. Missing one day is dangerous, but doing a little is powerful. I am still in the game. Before sleeping, she whispered to herself, Discipline is my secret. Even tired, even weak, I will always do one small step. Breakout room practice. Bad day English. Discuss with your group. 1. What do you do when you are very tired? Oh, I rest, but I still listen to music in English. Oh, I write 1 or 2 sentences. 2. Can you study for 2 hours every day? Oh, yes, usually. Oh, no, but I try to do something. 3. What is your minimum English routine on bad days? Oh, I read 1 page. Oh, I listen to 1 song. Oh, I write 3 sentences. 4. Why is it dangerous to skip 2 days in a row? 5. How do you motivate yourself again after a bad day? Lesson of Chapter 8. A bad day is not a lost day. Even 5 minutes of English keeps your discipline alive. Small steps protect the habit, and the habit builds the result. Chapter 9. The Surprise of Progress. One sunny Saturday, Amina was walking in the park. She stopped to buy ice cream. Seller, good afternoon. What flavor would you like? Amina, good afternoon. I would like vanilla, please, and 1 chocolate for my friend. The seller handed her the cones and said, Wow, your English is very good. Amina was surprised. She hadn't noticed how natural her words sounded. Scene 1. At the bus stop. The next day, at the bus stop, a lady asked, Do you know if this bus goes downtown? Without fear, Amina answered, Yes, it goes downtown. I also take this bus. The lady smiled warmly. Thank you. Your English is very clear. Amina's heart filled with joy. Just a few months ago, she could only say yes or no. Now she could help others with her English. Scene 2. At work. At her part-time job, Amina's manager asked her, Can you explain to the new staff how to use the machine? Amina took a deep breath and said, Of course. First, you press this button. Then you wait 2 minutes. After that, you can start. The new staff nodded and said, Wow, that was clear. Thank you. Her manager clapped her on the shoulder. Good job, Amina. You've improved so much. Scene 3. At KibTech. Back at KibTech, Amina shared her stories with her classmates. Yesterday, I spoke with a stranger in the park. Today, I explained something at work. People understand me now. The class clapped and cheered. The teacher smiled. See, Amina, discipline works. Not motivation, but daily small steps. That is why you are shining now. Amina felt tears in her eyes. I didn't give up, and now I can speak. Wrap up. That evening, Amina looked in her notebook. 3 months earlier, she had written, My dream is to speak English with confidence. Now she whispered with a big smile, Dream completed. Breakout room practice. Celebrating progress 1. What can you say easily now that was difficult before? Oh, I can order food. Oh, I can ask for directions. Oh, I can explain things at work. 2. Has anyone ever congratulated you on your English? What did they say? 3. How do you feel when people understand you in English? 4. Why is discipline more powerful than motivation in learning a language? Lesson of Chapter 9. With discipline, progress comes faster than you think. Even simple English can open doors, bring smiles, and earn respect. Chapter 10. The Job Interview. After 3 months of discipline, Amina felt different. She could speak in simple English without fear. People understood her. They smiled, they encouraged her, and now she had a new challenge, a job interview. She was nervous, of course. She thought, what if I forget my words? What if I make mistakes? But then she remembered, mistakes are not enemies. They are part of learning. She took a deep breath and entered the small office. Scene 1. The first question. The manager, Mr. Smith, smiled and said, "Welcome, Amina. Tell me about yourself." Amina sat straight and answered in simple but clear English. "My name is Amina. I came to Canada 3 months ago. I study English every day. I am disciplined and I want to work hard." Mr. Smith nodded with interest. Scene 2, talking about experience. He continued, "Do you have any work experience?" Amina smiled. "Yes, in my country, I worked in a store. I helped customers, organized products, and worked with a team. I also learned fast." Her English was not perfect, but it was enough. Her confidence made every word shine. Scene 3, a small test. Mr. Smith asked her to explain something simple. If a customer asks where the milk is, what would you say? Amina answered immediately. "I would say, the milk is here. Please follow me." Mr. Smith smiled. "Very good. Clear and polite." Scene 4, the result. At the end of the interview, Mr. Smith said warmly, "Amina, your English is good. You are confident. We want to give you this job." Amina's eyes filled with tears. She said softly, Thank you very much." When she left the office, she looked at the sky and whispered, "I did it. Not because of motivation, but because of discipline." Wrap up. The next week, Amina started her new job. Her coworkers congratulated her. "Your English is good. You're doing great." And every time she heard those words, she felt proud. 3 months earlier, she couldn't order a coffee. Now she could work in English. She knew this was just the beginning. Breakout Room Practice. English for Work 1. What kind of job would you like to have in Canada? 2. How can English help you at work? 3. What would you say in an interview if they ask, "Tell me about yourself"? 4. What simple sentences do you need for customer service? 5. Why is discipline important for reaching your goals? Lesson of Chapter 10. Discipline opens doors. Amina's daily practice turned her fear into confidence and her confidence into opportunity. With English, she found not only a job, but also a new future. Chapter 11. A New Promise. Amina had her first job in Canada. Every day, she welcomed customers, answered simple questions, and helped her team. Each time she spoke English at work, she felt proud. But one afternoon, her manager, Mr. Smith, called her into the office. "Amina, you're doing great. But in the future, if you want a higher position, you will need stronger English. You will need to read reports, write emails, and speak in meetings." Amina listened carefully. She knew he was right. Conversation was just the beginning. If she wanted to grow, she needed more. Scene 1. The Decision. That evening, Amina sat at her small desk. She opened her notebook, the same notebook where she once wrote, "I will not give up." Now she wrote a new promise. "I will continue. I will reach B1, then B2, then advanced. I will read, I will write, I will speak with confidence." She looked at her words and smiled. Discipline brought me here. Discipline will take me further. Scene 2, Reading Practice. The next day, she started small. She picked up a free newspaper from the bus stop. The words looked difficult, but she didn't give up. "1 article every day," she told herself. "Even if I understand only half, I will continue." At work, when she had a break, she read menus, instructions, and signs. Every word became part of her training. Scene 3, Writing Practice. At night, Amina practiced writing. At first, she wrote simple sentences. "Today I worked. I helped customers. I learned new words." Then she tried short emails. "Dear manager, thank you for your support. I will work hard every day." She showed her emails to her classmates at KibTech, and they corrected her kindly. Scene 4, Speaking Beyond Small Talk. Amina also joined a conversation group online. At first, she was shy again, but then she remembered her journey. If she survived the chicken coffee and I don't egg moments, she could survive anything. She started asking bigger questions. What do you think about working in Canada? How is life different in your country? Her sentences were not perfect, but people listened, and she understood more every day. Scene 5. Looking forward. One night, Amina imagined her future. She saw herself in an office, writing professional emails, reading reports without fear, and giving presentations in English. She whispered, "Yes, one day I will be advanced. Step by step, I will climb." Wrap up. Amina had already transformed her life once with discipline. Now she was ready for the next level. She no longer studied only for survival. She studied for growth, for opportunity, for her future. She thought, this is not the end. This is only the next beginning. Breakout room practice, the next level. 1. What is your English goal? Conversation, reading, writing, or professional level? 2. What do you usually read in English? 3. Do you write emails in English? Give an example. 4. What is more difficult for you, speaking or writing? Why? 5. How can discipline help you move from beginner to intermediate? Lesson of Chapter 11. Never stop at good enough. With discipline, every student can go from beginner to intermediate and from intermediate to advanced. Like Amina, your English can grow with your dreams. Chapter 12. English at Work. Amina had been working for 2 months. She loved her new job. She could greet customers, give directions, and answer simple questions with confidence. But one Monday morning, her manager, Mr. Smith, gave her a surprise. "Amina, this week you will help me with emails and join the team meeting. Don't worry, you can do it." Amina's heart jumped. Emails? Meetings? She had never done that in English. But she remembered her promise. I will not stop. I will grow. Scene 1. The email challenge. At her desk, she opened the computer. The first email looked long and full of difficult words. She felt nervous. But instead of giving up, she said to herself, one line at a time, discipline, not fear. She copied a sentence into her notebook and tried to rewrite it in simple English. Slowly, she understood. Then she tried writing her own short email. Dear team, the meeting will be at 10 a.m. Please bring your notes. Thank you, Amina. Mr. Smith read it and smiled. Perfect. Clear, polite, professional. Well done. Scene 2. The meeting. Later that week, Amina sat in the meeting room. People spoke fast. At first, her head felt full of noise. She almost wanted to hide. But then she remembered her practice at KibTech. Listen for key words. Don't try to understand everything, just catch the main ideas. She heard sales, customers, training. She wrote those words down. When it was her turn to speak, she took a deep breath and said, "This week, I talked with many customers. They asked about new products. I think we need more flyers." Everyone nodded. One colleague said, "Good idea, Amina." Her heart jumped with joy. For the first time, she spoke in a meeting and people listened. Scene 3. Support from colleagues. After the meeting, one coworker came to her and said kindly, "Amina, your English is improving so fast. Don't be afraid to speak. We understand you." Amina smiled and answered, "Thank you. I will continue to practice every day." Scene 4. A new routine. That evening, Amina made a new routine for herself. Every day, read one short work email. Write 3 sentences about her tasks. Listen carefully in every meeting and speak at least once. She knew it would not be easy, but discipline had already changed her life once. Now it would carry her to the next level. Wrap up. At the end of the week, Amina looked at her notebook. She saw pages full of new words, phrases, and notes. She whispered to herself, "I can do this. I can work in English, and step by step, I will reach B2 and beyond." Breakout room practice. English at work. 1. Have you ever written an email in English? Try writing a short one now. 2. What words do you often hear at work? 3. How do you prepare for meetings in English? 4. Do you prefer reading, writing, or speaking in English? Why? 5. What new routine can you make to improve your work English? Lesson of Chapter 12. English at work may feel difficult at first, but discipline makes it possible. Even simple sentences can have a big impact in professional situations. A big impact in professional situations. A big impact in Conclusion. From shy to shining. Amina'S journey started with fear. She could not order a coffee without saying chicken. She could not answer a simple question in the supermarket without panicking. At the bus stop, she confused cold with hot. Every mistake felt heavy, but she never gave up. Step by step, with discipline, not motivation, Amina changed her life. She learned that mistakes are not enemies, but teachers. She discovered that daily practice, even short and simple, builds confidence. She saw that discipline beats motivation. 2 hours a day in small sessions brought faster results than waiting for inspiration. She realized that every place is a classroom: the coffee shop, the bus stop, the supermarket, the workplace. She proved that English opens doors. Her first job came because she could speak and understand with confidence. And most of all, Amina learned this truth: if you keep going, your English will not only change your words, it will change your future. The lessons for you. 1. Don't wait for perfect English. Start with simple English. 2. Make mistakes, laugh at them, and learn from them. 3. Practice every day, even just a little. Discipline builds miracles. 4. Use English in your real life. Talk at the bus stop, read at the store, write at work. 5. Believe in your progress. If Amina did it, so can you. Join KibTech Inc., your 90-day challenge. At KibTech Inc., we believe in the same journey that transformed Amina. That's why we created the 90-day English challenge. 2 hours per day, in short, practical sessions. A proven method, the baby learning method. Support from teachers and classmates who encourage you. Real-life practice, conversations, stories, role plays, and breakout rooms. A clear path from beginner, intermediate, advanced. In 90 days, you too can move from shy to shining. You can speak English with confidence, just like Amina. Don't wait for motivation. Build your discipline. Don't wait for someday. Start today. Join KibTech Inc. and let us walk this journey with you. Because at KibTech, we don't just teach English. We help you change your story. English.
Are you ready to level up your English skills with KibTech Inc.? Jump straight to the lesson listening practice. Research shows we spend nearly half of our daily communication time listening. So mastering this skill is essential. Listen actively, repeat often, and boost your comprehension and fluency faster than passive study. This isn't just listen and repeat. It's training your brain to decode accent, speed, and real vocabulary. Every loop builds confidence. Replay until you recognize familiar words and phrases naturally. Engage in real language and become second nature after a few listens. After you feel comfortable, switch to speaking aloud. It's the quickest bridge from listening to conversation. Start now with KibTech Inc. listening practice and make listening your strong